All right, check, check. Okay, let's get this going. All right, how's it going, everybody? I'm David. You can't see it right now, but behind you is my service van. I own and operate a mobile mechanics business based solely on heavy duty stuff, semi trucks, trailers, medium duty box trucks, dump trucks, anything heavy. I am doing some auto on the side as you know, heavy duty's not consistently busy all the time. So what we're doing today is my engines had signs, it was showing signs of blow by, and I had some stuttering, which I found out is probably attached to a loose exhaust bolts that I found. But the blow by was real, it was legit. And so I wanted to rebuild this engine. It was running, driving perfectly, no issues, started no matter what, fired up, ran down the road no matter what. But the blow-by was concerning, and I wanted to fix it. I didn't want to press it too far and have catastrophic failure. And hopefully when we get done today, this thing can just be cleaned up, have some new parts put in it, bolted back together, and get another couple 100,000 miles out of it. All right, so let's get started. Let's get with it. So as you can see, I kind of still have it hanging on the cherry picker or the engine hoist. And then I don't know that you can see it down here, but I also have it bolted to the engine stand already. It's ready to go. The engine stand holds the weight, but at the moment it's leaning really hard on the front. I think it's because a lot of this front carriage is on here. That's the first thing we're going to tear off. Going to get some bags. We're going to try and bag bolts, tag everything as it comes apart so that we know where it goes back in, and try and keep these exterior parts you know, in line with their hardware. So wife doesn't know it, but I am going to jack a whole bunch of her kitchen bags. All right, Sharpie tape bags. Let's get to it. First thing that's got to happen, try to get you guys in close for every bit and piece of this on account of I am all right. First thing we're going after is obviously the belt, and this tensioner right here. In most heavy duty cases and a lot of auto, whether it's one size, 1/2 inch or 3/8 the other, you can get a ratchet wrench in there and take the tension off of the belt, slip the belt off, take the tension off the ratchet. When it's in a vehicle, this is quite a bit tougher, but it's obviously not that big of a deal. We are going to slip the belt all the way off. We're working on a particular item in the belt train. You'd probably leave the belt on as much as possible for your benefit in most cases. And the belt's just going to go over here in a pile of junk. Pile of parts, not junk. Next is going to be this tensioner, which should be easy enough. Get this stuff going here. Tensioner looks to be a 13. What a weird failure. You guys can't see it, but I just, wonder if it's like that with other tools. Sure is. Oh, thinks it's dead. Okay, it means it wasn't on the charger last night when I plugged it in. That's unfortunate. It is in fact a 13. It is only one bolt that holds it on there. This is an exterior part. I'm not worried about it rusting. So in a situation where it's just one single bolt that's holding it on there, I will just tape the bolt in place and it'll go in the pile with the parts. Next is going to be this alternator. Most of the harness for the alternator is already in all the harness pretty much. So there's a ground strap here. So first things first, ground strap looks to be a 19. That's exactly what it is. I don't know if you guys can see that down there. There's a ground strap of one bolt. Goes in the side of the block. I'll leave the ground strap attached to the alternator. Alternator looks to be the next bolt. Is a 13 for the lower stabilizer bracket. And a 15 for the upper bracket. That should be loose. Not a whole lot to it. Once I get the bolt out, there's a bushing in here that when you tighten everything up, it squeezes it. Gives it a nice little pinch, but just give her a little love and she will pop right off of there. No problem. As far as the big single bolt, that'll go back in the alternator. And aside from that, it appears there are two bolts. So I will tape those two bolts in to where they go. Not a whole lot going on over here. Just after this tape, if I can get to it. That bolt ain't going nowhere. And there's one more bolt that goes in the ground strap down to the block. And that bolt is going nowhere. Now normally I throw this on a parts table, but I also want to attach this bracket to it. Bracket, if I'm not mistaken, is held on there by 410 bolts. This is a swing bracket for the alternator. Oh, you guys probably want to see that, huh? Anyway, what we're after is that swing bracket right there. Already removed 3 of the bolts. Again, it's 410 mils. And we'll tape those into place as well, just because. All this bagging. Wow. Oh, wow. The other two are going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. I think I can slip the tape through this hole, get it down on them, maybe around the studs, back over. I would like to believe they're not going anywhere. One bitch. And one more piece because I never made a connection. Okay, sorry about the delay here. Then we'll hook this alternator swing bracket back into its port right here. This is the little bushing I'm talking about. You can get a swing on it, doesn't take much to move it. Once you move it out of the way, that'll make installing the alternator a lot easier as well. So like I said, when they come from the parts house, they're already loose. You tighten them back up when you tighten this bolt. And that's the alternator done. Be ready for reinstall when it comes down time. All right. Is that hanging off just like that, I think? No. Let's flip it over. Okay. Next one's going to be this fan hub, which I just rebuilt because I don't sell them anymore, and they're like $1,000 anyway. It was less than $200 in bearings to rebuild it. It does take a 12-point to get it off, which I will have to go get out of my toolbox in my service truck. And to help save time for the video, because I don't remember what size it is, let's bring the whole set in. It is a 16 mil, 12 point. Wow. What that does is that removes, oh my gosh, I forgot to undo the electrical. Let's put the bolt back just real quick. Oh, I have to grab my harness breakdown tools. What I'm doing here, I don't know if you can see that or not, I'm just clipping the 2 zip ties that I have holding this harness together. And then now that that's off, I can finish removing this hub. Now the only reason I removed the hub is because I need to get to these 10 mils right here on the hub mounting plate. These bolts will also be taped back into place. And then the hub, once those bolts are taped into place nice and pretty, I don't lose them, then this hub will just simply screw back into place on the core, if it can grab it. That's the fan hub, ready for storage. Okay, next will be the crankcase ventilation and all its attaching hardware. Get you guys kind of in a bad spot, for me anyway. See if I can get you a little closer to it anyway. Let me put some tools away real quick. These are a funny type of thing, not that complicated. Where is my 3/8? Oh, up here. It's not supposed to be. So the first thing first, I think that is like a 10 maybe. Yeah. I'm going to take out this lower nut here, which is a 10 mil. Get our hose off, that nut can go back. Oops. Nope. That nut is jammed in my socket, ladies and gents. One of the more important things you can do is try to put all the hardware back exactly where it came from, right? Anyway, that is that part. This part just kind of twists out, I discovered. It's kind of a hard twist, but it will move. Once you get the twist out, that's about it. That's it for storage on that. That's your VP44 pump gear and lock nut there that holds it on. Also where you can see timing on the outside. Next up is going to be, oops. That crank. So I'm going to just check and make sure everything is still working over here. Looks like the mic's working. I think that light is making quite the flare on you, huh? Can't really get the mic or the camera stand any lower than this. That being said, this is probably one of the lower things you'll find. The first thing we are going to get out of here is the front engine mount stand, which you're also looking at. And that will take a big boy. Those look to be 19s as well. That they are. It's going to have one short bolt in it. Well, it's pretty obvious where it's at anyway. Front engine mount. Nothing special about it. It doesn't need to be taped up. It'll sit on the table fine. Now we'll go after that crank pulley. Crank pulley looks to be maybe 15s. 15 it is. Pretty sure that's just gonna stay on. And then this is my first time doing this, so from what I've seen from the videos, these guys are basically just tapping this thing off. Oh, I think it was about that easy. All right, cool. No type of sealing surfaces yet. That front main is right there. These bolts will also get taped back into place. Nothing special about it. Just some tape, hold them in there. They kind of stay in their holes, so that hardware will be there when it is time to find it. Next, might as well get that water pump out real fast, which looks like another 10. There may be just the slightest mess here. Yeah, we got a bucket handy. Probably help. Water pump's perfect. Not that you'd ever actually find anything wrong with these old water pumps anyway. They're just bulletproof. I'll probably end up replacing it on a rebuild anyway, but it's nice to see it come off pretty. Just quickly taping these bolts back into this housing. Wow. One bolt's kind of tough. There we got it. All right, nothing special. Just some tape, hold the bolts in. Oh, I'd love to see how it feels on the stand now. That's pretty good. Let's see how it feels. Oh, let me get you guys involved here. Like I was saying, it was so heavy. that it was so heavy with all that stuff on it that just moving it even on the winch, like I said, I got a ton of weight on it still. You guys can see what's going on there kind of, but we're about to take the weight off of it, off the hoist. See how she does. Still leaning forward. Maybe not so bad though. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah. That's much more better. That feels a whole lot safer. Wow, I think just pretty far in that cog. I don't want to break that cog. Yeah, that's feels much more manageable. Okay. We picked this thing up out of the van with the transmission attached to it. And it wasn't too shabby per se. Oop. Almost had a fatality. Fatality. All right. With that, I should feel a little more confident about moving my engine around. Let's see. All right. That's not too shabby, folks. Let's see. As far as continuing tear down, most people are going straight after the head, which means, which means you guys want to be on this side. So let's get her spun around here. Not too shabby at all, Harbor Freight. It's a Harbor Freight engine stand, 2-ton engine stand, by the way. Harbor Freight 2-ton engine hoist. Okay. I think the harness is probably the next trick real quick, just so I can get it off and out of the way. It's going to have numerous hangers that it's important to me go back. That sensor, that hanger. I hope it didn't go there. Sure looks like it. I don't recall taking that hardware out if it did. We'll see when it's time to put it back together. All right. This looks to be some sort of a backup for the VP44. Oh, let's see. For the most part, I ended up using some new hardware there. That was longer, if I remember that right, when I installed this fast pickup pump. I want to put that back. Okay, let's start with a 10 mil, ladies and gentlemen. I guess to go right here, my custom hardware job. When I installed this FAS fuel pump, I thought the bolts were going to be too long for sure. And so I put a bunch of washers in there. I'll have to go back in. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be getting you guys in deep on this kind of stuff. So what I'm after right now is see where we're at. It's a hard one to show you, but essentially there's two bolts up on top, and those two bolts not only mount the FASS pump to its bracket, but also they mount this bulkhead plug for the harness, so the van can plug into the engine. That's what that's for. And all this hardware right here, and just go back into its respective hole. And hopefully stay there, because that's a lot to remember. And I think I'll pull sensors and leave them attached to the harness. So that sensor looks like maybe this big. That's close. That big. I think you can still see everything I'm doing on there. Right now I'm pulling this sensor out. I'm being 100% honest, I'm not even sure what it does. Oh, yeah, I am. This is the mass airflow sensor, the MAP sensor. Okay. Next sensor is, well, it looks like a good place for a boost pressure sensor, but you know, what the heck, because I don't have a boost pressure gauge. Oh, that's a big guy. What we got out here? We do not. I'll be right back. close, but no cigar. That's the one. Wow, that was not very tight. Okay. Must be like an O-ring fitting. Sure is. All right. It sure looks like some sort of a boost pressure sensor to me. I don't know. And we're back on 10 mil, which I have an extension. Get you down a little lower, but I don't know if you can see it. I'm just going after a harness bracket right there. And that bolt's just gonna go back. And I want this harness bracket right here, which wasn't even tight. And that bolt can hang on for a minute. Double check, make sure my mic is still working. It's supposed to be good for 4 or 5 hours, so should be good for the duration of this teardown. All right. For this guy, we are looking for something like, not that one. Something like that right there. ECM harness plugs, in most cases, held in with some sort of an anchor. I don't know if you guys can see that right now. Double check. I'll probably get you a little better view of it. About there. So that's the ECM plug. I literally unplug itself in pretty much any of all the situations. All right, that's the harness side of ECM out. And let's see, what do we got next? This should all be loose. Oh, one more plug right here for fuel pump, which I will remember. No problem. Okay. Got one more bracket there. You guys are kind of in the way, but that's kind of where we're going right now. We're just going after this bracket right here. Oh, no wonder you're in the way. I got my 20-foot extension on there. Let's go back with the shagging short. Also, what just happened over there? Oh yes, this bolt. I want to make sure we put this bolt back. Got one more sensor down there I missed. That sensor most likely a crank position, maybe? I'm not sure. Seems kind of in an odd spot to be that. Okay, appears to be held in by a 10 mil as well. I'll break you. I'm gonna grab a pry bar real quick so I can pop that out without damaging it. she goes. Sure looks like some sort of a timing sensor. And you guys didn't even get to see that, but I did pull timing sensor from this hole right here. I think it's a timing sensor. Be a crank position sensor. Didn't really catch that, but hi, welcome to the stream. Cutting bulkhead, viewers streamboo.com. Yeah, I don't care about it. You're my first real viewer. You want to get in there and do some trolling or whatever it is you got going on there. As long as you don't get in trouble, I don't get in trouble. We'll be all right. How you doing today? Just tearing down our 5.924 valve VP44 fuel injected Cummins engine here. That goes inside of my service van. I don't know if you can see that. Just pulled it out this weekend. Hoping for a successful rebuild on the thing. So, kind of is what it is. So right now we're working on getting the harness out of here, which now has another hanger. So these brackets that are getting in the way, it's just because of weight. All I gotta do is pound them up. They'll pop right back out of the way. I'll put this bolt back real quick so we know where it goes until we do a block tear down. And then we'll put this bolt and bracket, I think. Where'd the bracket off of that sensor go? Is it part of it? Appears to be on there pretty good. Main thing is I just don't want it to fall off in transit. I was going to do that. I'd rather it come off and go back on the block, but seems to be all right. We'll leave it there. All right, got our VP44 pump. I've never unplugged one of these before. Not really know nothing about it. Appears to be a lock here. What I'm focused on right now is the VP44 plug itself. See if I can get you guys in a better position. I don't know if you guys have ever done one of those before, but it appears like this is a slide lock and that will unplug the harness from it. I'm about to find out. Sure what it is. That's exactly what it is, folks. So what I did, and I don't recommend you doing anything if you're not confident that you can do it without breaking shit, because this is an expensive unit right here. For me, it's like $1,600-1,700 bucks. But I use a bar, and you can see the slide right there. So you just want to, because it's plastic, man, these slides are infamous. They use them in all sorts of different applications, and they are freaking infamous for breaking. You definitely want to be careful with them. All right, next. Let's pull another plug, another bolt. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm just after another pull here. I'll put that bolt back for now. And then I see another sensor. If I had to guess, that's going to be a cam position sensor. most likely. That's some sort of an Allen, and it looks like it wants to be unplugged before you mess with it. Let's see if I can get you down here real quick. Back in the picture. Take a look at it. Pretty hard to see what I'm after, but I'm after that plug right there, which I believe to be the cam position sensor. So I'll get you guys back up here, and you can just kind of watch me dive. So that takes the weight off of that. Ooh. It's definitely that size. Easy enough to remove the bolt. Let's see about the sensor. Oh yeah, not too shabby. Yep, if I had to guess, I'd say that's exactly what that is. A cam position sensor located in the timing cover housing. Put our bolt back real quick. And then plug this sensor back into the harness. No guessing. That's what Wesley would say. No guessing. I like that guy, man. I wish people would give him more attention. I think he's freaking great. Oh, my stamps on the cord there. Okay, let's see what we're looking at here. Rest of this harness. Slide this thing back out of my way for a little bit. Well, it's coming up now to almost done, folks. Almost done. All right, I need our 10 mil back. Oh, I was wrong. These are 8 mils. It looks like most of the bracket bolts going into the block are 10s. And the rest of the remaining brackets, well, up here, maybe they're just 8s up here because it's a smaller portion of the engine harness. For now, where's it at? Of course, 110 out of all those. Why not? Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Let me turn the engine down here. You can always turn it back. Maybe I can do it without running over the harness. So all that fight for the 8 mils were here. Then there was one more 10 mil hiding here. And then remove another couple sensors, and that'll be the harness. got light glare over there, don't you? My bad. My bad, folks. I didn't mean to cause you light glare. Honestly, I didn't. All right. Let's see here. Usually I can pop those, but for the sake of not breaking the dang thing, always safer to use the right tool, I guess. As far as what's left on the other side, got one sensor right there, probably a coolant temperature sensor of some sort, I would guess, and one more sensor there. I'm not actually sure what that sensor does. It's a dual post sensor with one wire going to it, and that's OEM, so it's really hard to say. But where we're at right now is I'm going after these last two sensors. I learned the hard way when I first started doing heavy duty. Anytime you're in type of any kind of cast head, cast block, and you're putting in any type of fittings, sensors, water outlets, it's safe to crack them loose and machine them out if you really want to, impact them out or whatever. That's really what you want to do. But never tighten them down with an impact. Yeah, I would guess that's some sort of a temperature sensor. Number one, never tighten them down with an impact. You'll crack whatever. What's the word again? Whatever molded metal is. Let's see, what are we doing here? I'll put these sensors back on the harness. There should be the last two sensors in it. These two. And then one more sensor to remove. Looks to be a little bit bigger, I think. Oof, quite a bit bigger. This particular sensor might have to be wrenched out. Let's try 24 real quick. 23, 22. And 22 it is. Oh my goodness. Quite the pull. I don't know how well you can see it, but I am after this sensor right here. Pretty dark on this side of the shop. And I really don't want to turn this all the way around just so. Okay, I think you can see it pretty good there. Oh yeah. I'm not sure what the sensor does. I'll have to look it up. I definitely want to know. So that's, for the most part, that's pretty much it. I mean, that is it as far as the harness goes. Just a handful of sensors, not a whole lot going on with it. Very expensive part. You gotta replace these things. It's crazy how much they cost. Most of the time, we try not to hack this thing, just keep it in good shape. There are people that'll hack the crap right out of them, though. I have hacked them. I don't want to, but I will. Oh, come on. All right. That was the harness. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Right. That'll work. Well, we'll go after that fast pump, I think, next. What is that sensor? How come I didn't take it out? Some beach. Oh, that's the one single sensor on the truck. Somebody's already been in there and hacked the harness. Or it's just not part of this harness. I don't know yet. That's what that is, though. All right. We are making headway here. Not too shabby. We're going to go after this fast pump next. And then, which should have been sealed off better, I thought, but I didn't, apparently. What happened here? Oh, the battery died, huh? That sucks. Well, if you've been chatting, I didn't hear you. I got 2 dead batteries. Crazy. Doesn't look like I missed anything. Damn, look at that. Look at that fucking meathead, bro. What's up with this guy? All right. Back to it here. Let's see. Let's test this thing real quick.
Fix It David from Twitch said cool. At Fix It Daves from YouTube said cool.
I guess I would have heard you. Let's see. What do we want? Settings. Put that back on. M18. Refresh that, baby. Jump back over here. Testy, testy.
Testy test. Daves from YouTube said testy test.
And then the final problem is that this should be on that. Well, that's not a problem. Oh, I know what the problem is. And One more test.
Fix it, David from Twitch said one more timer.
All right. Working.
At Fix It Daves from YouTube said one more timer.
Okay. So the next step is to plug off these fucking fuel lines that I left open. Not proud of that. All it takes is some caps. I actually found these on the side of the road in Texas while I was driving semi. I found 2 cases of them with bigger sizes past these that I'll probably never use. But man, these things are like hundreds of dollars a piece. Pretty cool. So anyway, guess I'll pick it up, bring it over here, make it a little faster. What we're looking for is little plugs. Just cap off this fuel system. Hopefully something will cap this guy off. Not so great. Oh, I got some minors. I got some minis in here. I had to use these before. All the cobwebs. I'll show you what's happening over here just so you guys can see. When I tore this down, I should have. See, I can get this thing real quick. I'm just using one hand here. Throw these down so I don't fucking dump them. So I don't dump them. Watch my mouth. This is a fuel return line. Plugged in, comes directly off the block, as well as out of the VP44 pump. Both are returning fuel back to the tank. That's an inlet for the VP40 or for this fast fuel cup, and that's the outlet, obviously, which runs up to the VP44, which I got plugged off, fortunately. I just forgot to plug off this fast and return. So what I'm gonna do is get you guys back in here. All the cobwebs. All right, so hopefully this little mini fucker right here, this little mini plug right here will fit this kind of perfectly. Oh yeah, that's nice. And that plugs that off. Let's see. Try the biggest one we got in this mini case. Oh, it fits nice. And that'll plug that one off. And then I'll need a bigger one for the other side. Put this mini case away. Oh, that's pretty good. Anyway, the moral of the story is you don't want to leave the fuel system open. Dust and contaminants get in there and will wreck everything, especially your $1,600, $1,700 VP44 pump. So as you guys can see, I forgot, but I went back and I recapped everything. So the existing fuel system is closed. It should have been closed this whole time. Mostly that fast pump. I don't want it to get any sediment in there and put it into the system. All right, so now we're on the fast pump. It's going to take, looks to be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 mil bolts to get the mounting bracket off of it. sure you guys can see that. There appears to be a gasket behind it. Not 100% sure what that's about. I know there's no fuel port or anything there. As you can see, there's definitely a gasket behind it. Honestly, for now, because I don't know anything about this, I'm going to leave that gasket there for the time being while I put this hardware back into these holes. And then and it turns out it was only 4 bolts that actually hold in the bracket on there, which makes more sense. 6 seemed like it was be overkill. And so one of the shorter brackets, the bolts goes back in to the housing on the unit itself, right there. Next to come out will be that ECM, engine control module. That's that unit right there. Also, another very expensive piece. Don't really need that rag anymore. I just put that in there to help protect it. Oh, it's 3, huh? That's the whole brain right there. For those who don't know, I think they're like, I don't know, I haven't priced this one, but I would guess it's around 1,000, if not more bucks. You bend one pin on it and it'll change the polarity of the freaking magneto squawkito and this thing will fail. So it's important that it doesn't get wet. Very important. It's important that it doesn't get damaged. So I'm just going to throw it on top of this shelf up here where nobody can see it. Just kidding. Just kidding. Or am I? Excuse me. All right, I'll put these bolts back too so they don't get lost. They'll be part of the tappet cover. All right, bring you guys back up here for a little bit. All right, cool. So the next step is to get the fuel lines off, and not too shabby actually. What did you expect to find? Was it something you left behind? All right. See what we got going on here. 19s for those and 19 for those. So first thing we're gonna do is crack all these lines loose up here. I think this will probably come out easier if I loosen all the brackets up. All the brackets, excuse me, are 10 mil. So you never actually want to take the lines apart. You just want to undo said brackets that are holding it all in place. Just verifying these are all the same length. Let's see, a couple more here. Okay. All these bolts are the same size that came out of the fuel bracket. I will put them back so they go where they belong. But did that loosen that up any? It did. Oh no, this is a 22 mil. Still loosening it up quite a bit, so that's good. It's nice when they screw out like that. That's what we want. So unfortunately, I had to wrench that one all the way out. Oh, and I know why. Earlier when we were trying to lift, I ended up pulling this thing forward until I saw it was hitting it. Obviously, we changed the lift real quick. I hammered it back out with a hammer, but it bent it a little bit. quite the job to turn this one. I don't imagine any of our other ones are going to be easier. Okay, looks like I got to pull that intake horn in order to get to these. It's not like that. Okay, that's the intake horn off. I'm going to tape this all together. Got the heater grid just grounded to the horn. Just a quick hold it all together while it sits on the table, and all that'll go back exactly where it belongs. And then continuing with the fuel rail, the fuel lines. Doesn't have a rail on this one. It's a good torque. All right. So once you get all that undone up top, got the brackets loose, you notice all my lines are still clamped together. You kind of want to do your best to avoid hurting that in any circumstances, because once you take these apart, it is a nightmare to try and put it back together. It can be done, it's just not fun. So now, hopefully you guys can see that we're going after all these fuel lines. And the way they set them up is 1, 2, 3 fuel lines obviously have their own circuit. So you'll take off the outside 3 and then you'll take off the inside 3. It'll be 2 circuits of lines that come off of here. And get you guys in here where you can see, still leave me room to work. Take a peek. So the first circuit is this one. Sometimes it's easier if they're nice, just to get that out of the way. Then you can see how you can get in on the second one nice and pretty with the regular wrench. And in my vehicle, that's even the case inside. We have a little drippage here. Good old bucket. Again, you can spin it out and get it out of the way. The third one here is a little bit tougher, but I found that there's a spot where I could get to it, I think. I don't know, I can't remember. I definitely had these off. I've already replaced the injectors here on this thing. Found a nice little angle right there that worked for me. And yes, I have some fuel line wrenches that I bought for this job. They're the whatever arc, blah, blah, blah. So now that those three are loose, that circuit should pop out if you got everything loose. Kind of like so. So same thing with these guys, as far as sealing them up. Now that they're going to be part of a unit, the fuel lines themselves, I'm just going to wrap in plastic, and I call that good. Keep the plastic bags out here in my truck in the box. So we'll just set these out of the way for a moment while I crack these other three lines, and we can put these in the bag together. Want to be careful you're not hitting any of your ports on your VP44. Found a nice angle there that would work for me. I think I can grab it from up here now, get the rest of the way loose. And then last but not least, seems like it should be easy enough. Easy enough crack. Not quite loose enough yet. That's hopefully enough. Should be enough. Just see if she got a little. Oh, well, if there's going to be a sticky one, I'm glad it was the last one. What I found was holding me up there was that these top cups just slipped back into their holes and was binding it. So just, you don't want to bend these lines at all. The fact that I bent that one that I described earlier is, it's awful. It's going to make putting it back together very tough. Anyway, grab these, hold them together, grab your plastic bag. That's pretty much it, guys. I just bag them. Excuse me. And I make sure I put them somewhere that they're very safe. These are actually going to go back in my van on a shelf somewhere where I know they won't be disturbed until I reinstall them. Just because they literally cannot be bent. It's very important that they maintain their current dimensions. So that should be fine right there. You guys can't see where I just put that, but there's not going to be a lot going on inside the service van until I get the motor back in it. Okay, so that's the main fuel lines off. Obviously, we have a lot of open fuel ports at this point. First things first, that VP44 is precious cargo. Very expensive unit, as I previously stated. We're going to get it sealed right up. So, Not a lot to what's happening here. Just this is all. If you don't have, you know, this, then it doesn't matter. Like electrical tape, anything to help keep debris out of it. Now I think about it, if you use electrical tape, maybe put a sheet of plastic underneath of it or something. I don't really know what happens when diesel changes the chemical makeup of the glue on that tape. So that makes me very happy. The injectors are coming out. They're going to be bagged. I'm not going to try and plug them up for the moment. They're coming out here in just a few minutes, which means the crossover tubes will be out here in just a few minutes. So next we're going after this return line, which appears to be, okay, bulkheaded to this bracket. I hadn't actually messed with this yet. Bring you guys down here. Let's see what I'm seeing. So I'll get this back on the screen here. So that bracket goes to that fuel line, which is the VP44 section of the fuel return line, up to the back of the head, which is the heads section of the return. And then, you know, it's just a return out, which we just plugged earlier. We were already talking about that. So studying the bracket, it's put together with some braided fuel line here. This is all one unit. So I'm going to want to have, no, that's pretty rigid. Probably just bust this fuel line loose. Looks like a 10 mil and another fuel line loose. Should be easy cheesy. Let's take these loose real quick. Okay. So on the first one, yeah, break pretty easy, no problem. I see just saw a lot of movement. It appears to be pulling back on the freak, I forget what these are called right off the top of my head at the moment, banjo bolt, where you would think you would see some slack, but then you can see that it's actually pulling back on it, which is telling me that some stuff is tense. So I'm going to bust this loose. I'm going to bust this loose. And I think we just stop there, but we're not going to take them out because I don't want it to pull too hard on it. We'll bust that one loose. We'll bust that one loose. Hopefully that got rid of a little bit of our tension at least. All of it. That's great. That's what we wanted to see. Number one, it's pulling on these threads. You don't ever, I repeat, ever want to pull these threads. I better not do that. I'm going to jam it. We'll set this kit up here for the moment. And let's get this back leg off, and we can just take the whole line off. So that one was a 19. Let's see if the back one's a 17. As far as you guys seeing it, I'm not going to move the light for this one thing. Again, it's right there. I do have with me this to help us out because I do want this video to be, you know, at least usable. So I'll throw this on real quick. I mean, it's not immense, but it should help a little. Anyhow, this is where we're at. We're trying to see what size this thing is, and it is a 17. So we'll pop it loose. Oh. You can tell this one has not been off the engine before. This is factory seal. It is gritty. Okay, that's the line loose. let it finish leaking out over here for a minute. I'm gonna move you guys back over here. Just kind of a broad view. I'll quickly pull out these tens real fast. Bring that out the rest of the way in there. And so these go back here. They are the same size, thank God. This is the tappet cover. It'll be in there here before too long. I'll probably, let's see, what's the best way to do this? Probably put this back with this. I'm just putting this nipple back. These banjo washers are banjo bolts. They come with two washers, both rubber O-ring washers. One on the bolt side and one on the fitting side to seal everything up. If they're nice and tight, you can screw them together without tearing them up. But then I'll throw this in a plastic bag and that'll protect all this. And meanwhile, got some more fuel in here. I just quickly want to find a plug for the VP44. That's nice. Nice and plugged right there. Okay, I'm actually going to go throw this fuel line in a plastic bag with those other two lines. I'll be right back. And just so you guys, if you don't already know, and just in case you're going to say something, yes, there's a cleaning process for those fuel lines before you put them back on the engine. Okay, VP44 is not really ready yet. I guess we could get this intake plate off. The hangers definitely stay in. This bracket could come off. You know what sucks? I literally forgot to record. It's going to the platforms. I'll have some stuff to work with, but I wanted to record this on my computer as well. We'll start recording right now. So, should be a little better footage to work with from this point on. Cool. All right, so as I was saying, we're not ready for the VP44. Most of these intake bolts are right here. They all appear to be the same size. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. All right, let's bring you up to speed here. Boop. So we are currently getting ready to remove what we just call an intake plenum. The actual intake manifold is part of the head, but this is what bolts to the top of the manifold. So not much more than a plate and an easy seal. I've already taken most of the bolts out. I took a good amount of them out when we were taking the fuel lines apart. All the bolts are the same size on this guy. Appears to have some sort of a pretty good sealant in it. Didn't pop very easy. I don't know if you guys can see what I just did, but be very careful if you're going to work on something with a pry bar. Intake plate. I will finally bag my first set of hardware here. Oh, it's pretty easy. All I'm gonna be doing is just grabbing a plastic bag, writing on it with a fucking, or excuse my language, with a Sharpie. All right. Back you guys up for a little bit. I think all my dripping's done for now. Okay, next thing I want, let's get you guys down to your speed, I guess. See where you look the best here. That's not too shabby right there. Okay, next we're going to go after this front cover. As I sit here and look at the front cover, it appears that all the hardware should be the same, except for the middle bolt directly under the C and the ISB-C on the front of it as a stud. Obviously a bracket, I think, for the harness even or something. So, might probably be a little spillage here. Well, first thing I want to get that one out of the way real quick. I knew that wasn't a 13. What the heck? Okay. There's a longer bolt too. Quite a bit longer, I think. We'll see what the rest of them look like. Again, middle hole directly into the C. Here comes our ginger dog. Come on. Ah, she's about to get whacked. Oh, I'll be right back. My dog cannot use the restroom on the floor. She gotta go. She gotta go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Now she's outside. She's old. She'll go in the house, in the restroom in the house, guys. So it looks like all the bolts are long. Okay. Just keep an eye on them as they come out. Oh. Ah, see, now these are short. All right. Oh, can't be getting confused here. Everything needs to go back where it came from. Okay, so all right, I understand how it's working now. Well, all these should be long bolts because they all go into the block behind. These are all short bolts because they just go into the exterior cover. Let's test my theory, shall we? If that's the truth, then this should be long. This one should be long. This one should be long. No, that's a shorty. Wow. Okay. Let's take that one out for a minute. Let's test another theory here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that works. Huh, so weird. But all the long ones are the same. All the short ones are the same. Sure, we'll understand why this is happening later. Am I just covering the camera up? Sorry, guys. Let's see here. short. Short. Long, that's long. So they all, it appears that there's only two sizes of bolts. The shorts and your longs. So that is all the shorts out. Just wet my hands here real quick. I can't control myself. I mean, it should be pretty self-explanatory because a long bolt, just no matter what, won't go into a short bolt hole. So it just doesn't even matter. So all the long bolts, except for, of course, the stud, are the same. Oh, let's see. Yeah, microphone's still working. Okay, good, good. All right, I guess next is to peel that thing. All right. Plate has the front main seal in it. And we're inside of the timing gear, baby. This is where shit starts. This is where stuff starts getting interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So, for those of you who don't already know, timing gear. So, oil pump, crank, cam, VP44. Oil pump doesn't have any timing setting. Everything else has timing teeth. It's literally as easy as making sure you're, I don't even know if you have to make sure you're top dead one. It's literally, you see the timing mark marked, timing marks marked. It's literally like lining them up. All the wheels should be marked with zeros, according to everything I've seen. I can't see in there right now, it's dark. But yeah, timing cover. Okay, next we're after that VP44 pump. Main reason we opened the timing cover. Never taken one off before, just watched a few videos. They're using air hammers, which is fine. I'm very comfortable with an air hammer. I see that got a whole slew of mounts here that need to come loose. That'll stay nice and bolted there and there. That's perfect. So essentially what's going to happen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that nut off. I'm going to loosen the housing to the VP44 from the other side. I'm going to come on this side with a pin needle air hammer and leave the nut on so much and just hit it. It's just a tapered shaft, a little bit of impact, and it'll knock it back. It'll come hand loose quickly. And then at that point, I will be able to slip the VP44 out of the back and we'll put it on the shelf. It's going back on there. So believe that. Easy enough. Impact makes short, easy work of most stuff. The size on that was a 27 mil for that nut. Next thing we're going to do is take this back bracket loose, which is 210s. They're in there, so I'm going to use a wobble. Oops. Let's see. I'm thinking I want you guys to see this VP44 work. I don't want to turn the whole engine, so I'll see if I can just turn the base. This thing is a magnetic base, but unfortunately the valve cover is aluminum. So what we're looking for, get you guys in here where you can see what's happening. Okay. So as I said, I go with a knuckle because it's a little easier to get on these, plus they're 13s. And now you guys are in my way. Nice job, chat. Way to hold the man down. All right, we're coming back. That's the main bracket holding, just kind of a backup bracket for it, right? So then you got all the housing bolts as well. They're bigger than 13. Sorry, can't take calls right now. My engine's on my van. All right. We are looking for, 15s. And then, how's that angle back there? Pretty straight shot. Okay. Let's see if we can get in there and get these back ones first. Not too shabby. Nice job, Cummins. Okay. So these ones will just loosen up. We don't want them to be completely unbolted. About so. And just like that, apparently. Nut and washer on this gear. And just like that, there's the timing gear or the VP44 gear off. And now we can remove, I think, yep, now we can remove the rest of precious cargo left laying there. I don't usually like to leave stuff hanging, eh? Okay, the rubber O-ring seal. Okay, so like I said, VP44 is very important. Let me get you guys back over here and out of my way. We'll be going after the head next. Get this light out of your face. Okay. I expect my wife home any minute now. Excuse me. Doesn't look like they used a gasket at all, just sealer. Unless there's a gasket there that I missed. I watched one guy that did a video on these. And gasket maker. He didn't put a, I don't think he put a single fucking gasket on there. Put all the seals. But I think he just fucking pastes the whole thing. Just whatever type of caulking. Alright guys. I'm gonna run up and use the restroom real quick. And I'll be right back. just occurred to me, all could hear that, and I have a mic on my neck. It's a new mic, it's my first day with it. I don't even know how it sounds. Did a couple tests with it. Seemed to be all right. So I'd like to apologize for those of you who may have just been scorned. Yeah, let's give Jacob a call, see if he's watching any of the streams. Why not? There's my doggy. Dog doesn't have a tooth in her mouth. She got every single one of them removed. She's deaf, can't hear nothing. That's why I'm clapping at her. The only thing she can hear is the snap of a clap, and even that's fading. She barely hears that anymore. Vision's going. She'll dive off of like 5 deep, dive off the stairs, plow into the wall, get up like a little limp, and walk her way outside and use the restroom. She's crazy. Lots of life left in her. She's an old girl. All right.
Hello, sir.
You haven't wrote a single thing in chat, my guy. I need all the support I can get.
I haven't seen any chat either.
You knew I'd be streaming though.
You must have forgot to tag me or something. Nothing popped up.
Nah, I'm just not that important yet. It does it all by itself. It's all part of the algorithm. Shake up. But you can log into YouTube and see that I'm streaming. Like right now. Like right now. Like right now. Like
Hold on. Boil 4 quarts of water or it needs to heat. Do a gentle boil.
we forgot to get you a hat before you left here. I got a whole bag of them in the room. I forgot to get you one.
Yes, you did. I actually fucked up my good hat on. I need some. For 4 minutes.
Well, I got a late start. Took me a while to get the stream up and going in a fashion to where I don't have to sit here and monitor it all the time. I've only actually been tearing down on it now for just less than 3 hours.
Sorry, where are you now?
We have to log into the stream and see, Jacob. Mm-hmm.
I've been at work all day, sir. And they're trying to go back to the tax office.
How'd that work out?
Now I found my papers. There's really no information for them. Like, I didn't see what exactly they. Zero, I have channel subscribe. That was. Source videos. Training assessment.
I guess I should have checked. I know I'm at least live on Twitch because I already had a bot come on and talk to me. Did you find me on YouTube live or no?
No, now I got you on, but I gotta hang up the phone so I can watch you on the thing.
Yeah, yeah. Love ya, bruh. So, what I'm doing right now, you guys can't really see it, but I'm just putting all the hardware back in its holes from us pulling that, dang that light, from us pulling that VP44 pump we just pulled. VP44 is all sealed up. It's pretty safe right there. This bracket is going to come off and go onto that VP44, which looks to be some little 8 mils. Jacob, are you in the chat? I can't really tell. Anyway, as I was saying, I was putting back hardware in these 4 bolts, or nuts, excuse me, to hold the VP44 up into the timing cover. Ouch. I can't really tell if you're in the chat or not, Jake. Let's see, what's next? We're going after the head. Means I got to change the lighting and get you guys up higher. I'm going to take this bracket off real quick, of course. Finish what I started here.
At Jacob Adams 792 from YouTube said sup bro.
What's going on, sir? So this is where we're at. Going after the head next, as soon as I figure this bracket out. And then after the cam, shortly after that. I don't know how good we're going to do on this bolt. Not too shabby. So that's a low profile Torx bolt that is in the bracket that braces the VP44. And I have to imagine it has to do with the pump rubbing on it or something to that effect. And I'm going to want to get that back in that hole when it's time to put this all back together. Oops. Pumped, you guys. What are you seeing over there? You see stuff? You see me drop my hardware on the floor. Then this bracket actually has the two holes that I put back on it, and they go over here. This will just help me remember kind of where everything goes. Not that it should be that hard, but it's two more pieces of hardware that I don't have to catalog, because they're just in their hole. I'll bag that up here in a second, and it'll go on the shelf, and that'll be ready for an install. Minor cleanups, but we don't do a lot to that thing. So next, I'll be getting you guys tall. Get you tall again. A little more of a downward view, I think. How's that looking? Okay, depending on how the lighting and everything works out here, I might be able to. You guys a pretty decent view from right here. Again, all dependent on the stupid lights capabilities. That's causing glare for you, I'm sure. Yep. Well, we will see. That casts a lot of shadows. I think we can work with that. All right, we're going after the head, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the more crucial and important parts of this whole breakdown, is how everything looks once we get this head off. This is going to be all my clear. I should probably bag that pump, like I said, real quick. Handle that.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said very cool.
All right. I don't know if you can take a peek of that or not in the dark. Jacob was right. I definitely need to get some better lights. But that's that VP44 pump. It's just pretty much assembled as far as it can be. Missing the 4 bolts that hold it in the housing. But you guys saw that I capped it up earlier in the stream, and that it's all nice and sealed. And then of course I put it in plastic just to keep it out of the elements, so that other than the
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said it's talking for me, bro.
it's talking for you, bro. Yeah, Jacob, that is chatbot, and what that's doing is it reads off everybody, so that I don't have to sit here and try and watch the screen and see that you read off. It'll read it out loud for me, and then when I interact, I can be like, "Yeah, so cool, thanks, man." Put some stuff in it.
Fix It David from Twitch said yes, so cool, thanks man. At Fix It Daves from YouTube said yes, so cool, thanks man.
Obviously, it reads me off twice, and it'll read me off for every single chat that it's reading. It can do Facebook too, but Facebook blocked me. I don't know. They won't let me.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said I love you.
Love you too, bro. You watch me rip this valve cover off real quick. The valve cover is all 10 mils, everybody, except for the middle one in my case. The middle one in my case jumps up to a 13, and that is for a stud mount that's above it. And then from there, I think it jumps up to a 14 or 15. 15. Once we have that one loose, of course, best rule of thumb, always put our hardware back as best as we can. In any event, I'm going to have to set up this clean table over here for this portion of the job. Like my lovely wife just got home. Push it, push it. My attempt to keep her from going to the bathroom on the floor. Anyhow, middle bolt. It's for the stud mount. So I think it's a harness or something crossing over.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said everyone is a different size.
No, they're all 10s, and technically they would all be 10s. This one's just a stud, so they upgraded it. Still the same bolt size. Again, it's just to hold that one harness. Jacob, you help me tear it apart. That one piece of harness that goes across. Keep it from rubbing.
What's happening in my garage?
That's my lovely wife, everybody. Can't see her because she won't come in the camera. There we are looking at the valve train. This is the very important part. This is where I'm going to be marking stuff, inspecting it as I take it apart, looking for wear. I've already had a good portion of this apart enough to change injectors, and everything looked good. I slapped her back together. But we'll obviously be inspecting each individual head, and then each individual head will be sat over there with all of its elements on the clean table, which I have to actually get prepped up. And once they go inspection, they pretty much just get covered up and they stay down there saturated.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said hello Heather.
Hi, Jacob.
So, Jacob, can you hear the music in the background? One of you. This is what I mean by got a late start. Should have already been tore down. But. Oh yeah. Oh, the mic, yeah, $20. But then to cable this so I don't have to shut it off and it's not overheating and I'm not having all those problems that I have in the field when I'm running wireless.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said N0.
No, thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
N0.
N0.
Is that the mic stand on the way?
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure is. Yeah. It's now part of, do you see that construction that I put together on that? I won't let the stream see it. No, they're not allowed
You
to.
don't need to.
That's kind of what I want in the field. It's like a 60 to 75 foot cord on a reel. I can run out there and hook something like this up.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said there is a long delay before it reads my text.
Yeah, it's got to do a whole bunch of different stuff. So first of all, it's going to their server. Yeah, it takes a minute. There's delays everywhere. There's also delays before I hear it, and then there's a delay before you see the response even. Like, yeah. Huh?
The recording has a delay. We see you delayed on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Well, not so much now. If you look real quick, because it's all corded now, so that's pretty much, it's like 30 milliseconds. It's super small. That's another good point about being in the field, is that it's corded and it's super fast. Easy to transfer the information. I wouldn't need all the Wi-Fi crap. I could run everything off cable. It'd be great. So, but it's something I got to figure out, because finding a 75-foot USB cable that'll carry 5 amps of power is pretty hard to find, or 2 amps of power. Yeah, I put it in a nice shield. It'd be tough.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said get back to work.
Relax your body.
Tell me what to do.
All right, I love you. So I did buy chat. I did buy some of this stuff today. It's called, hard to read in the dark, I'm sure, but whatever. Stable fogging oil. So when I clean these parts to inspect them, they're prone to flash rusting without that layer of oil on there, kind of protecting them. And so this is some special protected stuff. So I'll spray it all down and then I'll cover it up, and it'll be good until I open it back up. Fingers crossed, every single component that I tear out of this is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it, because I don't have the money to buy new components. So I'll be running a GoFundMe, and all one of my followers will be helping. So what I'm doing right now is I'm getting my clean table prepped so that we can start tearing this valve train apart. I would just bag everything, but the rods are going to be way too big to go in any of the bags that I have. And I kind of want to lay it out according to how my head is laid out, so I can make sure I'm putting tappets back in the same holes. I'm putting push rods back in
At
the same
Jacob Adam
holes.
792 from YouTube said I'm a good helper.
You're a great helper. Like I said, you doubled the time. Could you imagine how much time that would have taken me if I had to crawl out from underneath of that van every time I had the wrong tool? Oh my God. Can you imagine if I try to rip that engine? I guess I gotta look up here. Could you imagine if I tried to rip that engine out of the compartment all by myself? Like, we were scooting it like a half an inch at a pop.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said you have a glare on the left side of the screen.
Oh yeah, because of the way I set that camera back. Makes it a little harder for what you guys are going to see anyway. I would like to telescope you over and get you some overhead views. I don't know how that would work out. We'll try it. We'll see. I have to get more gear for stuff like that if I start doing these engine builds. So it's just a nice clean piece of cardboard that I saved. Would be nice and clean. Ha ha ha. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing over here or not, but I'm just karate chopping it. Guess what? Believe it or not, that worked extremely well. All right. So, okay, cylinder one is in.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said could get closer to work area. Maybe soon in on the motor.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, the video would be tight. You'd be zooming in on every single peak. Yeah, it'd be your job. You'd have a stick. You'd be sticking the stick in there, bro. You'd be like, am I in your way? Am I in your way? I'd be like, no, it's perfect. You did such a good job. Yeah, bro. It'd be legitimately serious. Okay. I have 6 cylinders. I have 4 colors of marker. I ripped my glove. How do we do that, chat? 6 cylinders, 4 colors of marker.
792 from YouTube said I'm down.
Yeah, well, we were both down, but yeah, that's something I didn't see. We might as well pull that out of there.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said about 30-second delay.
Sounds about right. That's what most people report. It's even more out in the field. It's like almost a minute out there. That's normal. It's nothing different about it. So most of the time when people are watching a chat, it's because they're getting a show, they're enjoying the show, and they know that when they comment that yeah, just verifying what's going on here, make sure this gasket goes back. I'll be replacing that gasket as well. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that moment there, folks. Okay, I think the easiest way for me to do this is to...
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said big gasket.
Big gasket. Yes, sir. So zip these off. So let's just do that. Well, they are 10s. About the rates. Okay, 10 millimeter. So I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but there's 2 bolts, one that holds down each rocker. The valves are split into 2 per rocker. Let's see if we can get you. I get you in there. You can see most of these two that I'm working on now. This is
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said cannot see.
these are cylinder 1. You'll see
At
as
Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said that's better.
and as we can see, the exhaust is the longer one, okay? Things to inspect on these are the tips of these. As I said, I've already had a bunch of these apart. I want to make sure these caps will fall off. You don't want to lose them. That's about the basis. That's cylinder 1. And you can't see it right now, but I'm just pulling these are called the bridges. These are pushed by one rocker and they open 2 valves at one time. One valve's attached to each one of these while a single rocker pushes it.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said looks complicated.
It's not really. So the 2 valves open, even though there's 4 valves per head, 2 are intake, 2 are exhaust, and each 2 open at the same time via one rocker. So this rocker is pushing on this bridge, which is opening both of these valves at the same time. The valves have a pretty nice fit right there once it's filled with oil. It's kind of like hydrolock with the oil, keeps them from wearing out. And just from a quick inspection, I would say that mine look great. Again, I've had a few of these open already. I've changed every injector on this. I don't expect there to be any problems. I'm still going to put these back where I got them from, as I'm going to reseal these valves, but I'll probably most likely be reusing the valves again. So these 2, and these are interusable parts. Like, they're all milled exactly the same. I know that the rockers are. I'm still worried. I'm still learning about the push rods, but this is new to me. I didn't see this in any of the videos. This is actually the rocker base. So the bolts from the rockers go down. The cams that the rockers ride on sit on top of this. I would want to see about any type of wear there. But again, there's not even a scratch on them. They're perfect, which is exactly what we would hope to see. Now, as far as directional goes, they are directional, but you couldn't flip them if you wanted to. So they only go in there one way. You'd have to be pretty smart to go and put them in the wrong way. And now that I know that there's a rocker base, I can actually set that cylinder up.
At Jacob Adam 792 from YouTube said you're like a wizard with magical powers.
You guys can't see what I'm setting up over here, but the way I'm setting it up is basically it's going to go back together. Every single piece is going to go back right in the same hole that they came out of. Now this is one part right here that we're getting ready to pull that I'm not 100% familiar with. Underneath of these rockers is the push rods. And push rods run down to what are called tappets or lifters. And those tappets or lifters ride on the cam. As the cam pushes or pulls them, they push the rod, activates the valves, blah, 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 easy cheesy. What I don't know 100% is, are all these rods exactly the same? If I had to guess, I would say that they most likely are. They're definitely the same. So they appear to be the exact same rods. Doesn't matter if it is intake or exhaust. I don't know if that's the case across all